That way,
الثالث.
الثالثة نعم. So,
الحمد لله.
yarhamukallah. So, we'll just, like I said, since class got cut off yesterday, we'll just go through what we did and just like we never did it, inshallah. And tomorrow, bi'idhnillah, we'll do a Nahul Wadi because we probably should have did that yesterday, and then what happened. So we'll make that up, and then just tomorrow we'll do a Nahul Wadi, inshallah. الثالثة, the third, meaning the third mas'ala, as the first one was dealing with ar-rububiyyah, that Allah created us and provided for us and didn't leave us without any guidance. Rather, He sent a messenger to us. The second one was al-uluhiyyah, al-mas'alatu thaniya, dealt with al-uluhiyyah, which was that Allah does not love or is not pleased that anything else be set up with partners with Him, even if it is a close angel or a prophet who was sent. وَالثَّالِثَةُ, and the third issue, again, all of this being from an introductory letter, not even being part of the Usul Thalatha in the beginning. This is just a letter that he wrote that his students said this would be a nice introduction to the Usul Thalatha. So, الثالثة أن من أطاع الرسول ووحد الله. أن, that. And remember the difference between an and anna. Anna goes before a noun,
Noun.
where an goes before a verb. But they both mean that, and they both make the word following it mansub. So anna man. So whoever, and man here is a noun, meaning who, that's a noun. And it's mansub, but we don't see a sign of mansub because it's mebni. It never changes. Men will never change, right? Anna men ata'a rasula. Whoever obeys the messenger. Right? Ata'a from ta waw ayn. Right? This is form 4. Whoever obeys the messenger. And Rasul has a fatha because it's the object of obedience. Mansub maf'ulun bihi. Anna man ata'a rasula. Whoever obeys the messenger. وَوَحَّدَ اللَّهِ. وَوَحَّدَ Allah. Wahada, like meaning to make one, right? But coming from Tawheed, meaning to single out Allah, right? Allah, Lafzul Jalal, is mansub because it's the object of wahada. And whoever singles out, who singles out what? Singles out Allah. La yajuzu lahu. It is not permissible for him. Yajuz, from like the word jawaz, which is like a license, right? Jawaz is a license. If they ask to see your jawaz al-safar, that's your passport. That's your license to travel to other countries, right? Jawaz, yajuz, permissible. La yajuz, lahu, for him. Muwala, muwala coming from waw, lam ya, like the word wali, to be friends or to make a friendship. Man hadallaha, whoever opposes, basically. Dal, you will look that up. Man hadallaha wa rasulahu, whoever opposes the messenger. Opposes who? Allah. Lafzul Jalala mansub, the object of the opposition. Wa rasulahu, the second object of the opposition. Both of them maf'ulun bihi. Walau kana aqraba qareeb, and even if he was the closest of relatives. As we said, qareeb means close, and it's also used with the context of relative, right? And aqrab is just the superlative form, like akbar. Walau kana akbaru, or law kana aqraba qareeb. Aqraba, because it is the Khabru kana. Khabru kana is mansub, as we learned in the Nahl Wadih. Right? And even if he was the closest of relatives. Any questions?
لا.
Would you prefer to read paragraph by paragraph or the whole page?
I think it's better. Let's do paragraph by paragraph. I think it's more.
Then read that paragraph for us, Abu Sumayya.
الثالثة أن من أطاع الرسول ووحد الله لا يجوز له موالة من حد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب.
نعم. عبد الله.
الثالثة أن من أطاع رسوله ووحد الله لا يجوز له موالة من حاد الله ورسوله والله كان أقرب قريب.
نعم. Sheikh Abdul Muhsin al-Qasim, the Imam and Khatib of the Prophet's Masjid, he says, هذه المسألة في الولاء والبراء والولاء والبراء نابع من توحيد الألوهية والألوهية راجع للربوبية. He says هذه المسألة. هذه here is our mubtada. It's marfu'. Even though it has a kasr on it, that's because it's mebni. It's built with the kasr and it never ever changes. You're never going to have hadahu or hadaha. You're always going to have hadihi. هذه المسألة. Al-mas'ala is a badal. It's a substitute for hadihi. He could say al-mas'ala fil wala' wal bara'. The issue is in al-wala' and bara'. Or he could say this is in al-wala' and bara'. So this substitute is going to be the same thing. Since it's the mubtada and it's marfu', al-mas'ala is going to be marfu'. Fi al-wala'i wal bara'i. As we said, al-wala' is from wow, lam, ya, meaning to take as a friend or to associate and to be a kindred to. Wal bara is from ba, ra, hamza, meaning to disassociate. It's the opposite of al wala. And the Shaykh will explain it more, inshallah, in his explanation. And al wala I wal bara I, because of fi, right? Fi, harf jar, al wala ismu majroor, like this, right? Then he says al wala'u wal bara'u, because it's like another sentence, right? We're done there. Al wala'u wal bara'u nabi'un. Nabi'un, as we said, from noon ba ayn, means to spring forth or to gush forth or to be an offspring of something, right? To be a result of. Nabi'un min tawhidil uluhiyya. It's a result of al-wala and bara. This association and disassociation is an offspring, is a result of tawhid al-uluhiyya. Wal-uluhiyya, wal-uluhiyyatu, and uluhiyya, and again, uluhiyya here, tawhid has a kasr because of min, harf jar. Wa-uluhiyya mudaf ilay. Wal-uluhiyya, here, there's nothing to change it. It's like a new sentence here. وَأُلُوهِيَّةُ راجعون. It's returning للربوبية. It returns to الربوبية. Right? So, as we said yesterday.
Oh, delete. Okay.
Huh?
I was going to say, I was getting ready to actually make that a kasr, but I see the li.
The li makes
Yeah,
it.
no. Yeah,
so this is the Sheikh saying basically al-wala and bara. If Allah created you and He's the one provides for you and He's the one that sent down guidance, then He's the only one worthy of worship. And if you're going to worship Him alone, then you must love those who also worship him alone, and you must also have an enmity towards those who do not worship him alone. So, هذه المسألة في الولاء والبراء والولاء والبراء نابع من توحيد الألوهية والألوهية راجع للربوبية كأنه يقول لك الشيخ. الشيخ here is the fa'il, he's the doer, he's saying it. كأنه, it's as if he. كأن means as if. كأنه يقول لك, it's as if he's saying to you. Who is he saying this? The sheikh. As if he's saying to you, the sheikh. أنت موحد. أنت موحد. Right? You are muwahid. You're a person of tawheed. وغير مشرك. وغير مشرك. You're not a person of shirk. You're not a mushrik. You're not a polytheist. فاحذر أن تولي المشركين. فاحذر. So beware. This is a sukoon there because it's a command. فاحذر. So beware from hadara, meaning to beware and to be cautious. أن تولي. See, we have an here before a verb, not anna as we had up here, but an, because it comes before a verb and it makes it mansoob. So we have that fatha there. And tuwalli al-mushrikeen. So beware that you befriend. This is the same word. Muwala, wa tuwalli, wa walli, wal wala. All of that's from the same root. And tuwalliya al-mushrikeen. So beware or be cautious from befriending the polytheists. Tuwalliya man al-mushrikeen. So it's mansoob with a ya. Right? Otherwise it would be mushrikun. When it's marfu', when it's the mubtada, when it's the khabar, when it's the fa'il, then it's mushrikun. Right? But when it becomes mansoob or majroor, it becomes mushrikeen. They look the exact same, but they have a different reason for being there. So mushrikeen, right? And this is for accusative and genitive, or mansoob and majroor. But they're going to have a different reason. The reason here is, the reason it looks like this here, and not mushrikun, is because of the object of the verb. Fahdhir and tuwalli al-mushrikeen. Beware that you befriend who or what? The mushrikeen. Right? لِذَلِكَ قَالَ. Due to that, he said, أَنَّ مَنْ أَطَاعَ الرَّسُولَ وَوَحَّدَ اللَّهَ. That whoever obeys the messenger and singles out Allah in worship, right? And we already explained the Arabic of that. يُخَاطِبُكَ. يُخَاطِبُكَ. He's talking to you. He's addressing you. As we said from khutbah, the word kha, the roots kha, ta, ba. Like khataba, khutbah, khatib. Right? يُخَاطِبُكَ. It's an address. So he's addressing you. This phrase, as we said, is the same as this phrase. يَقُولُ لَكَ يُخَاطِبُكَ. لا يجوز له موالاة من هاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب. It is not. He's addressing you saying it's not permissible to befriend whoever opposes Allah and His Messenger, even if they were the closest of relatives. We went through that Arabic above. وَلَا يَجُوزُ لَكَ. It is not permissible for you. مُوَالَاتُ مَنْ هَادَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَلَوْ كَانَ أَقْرَبَ قَرِيب. He just repeating this here, right? It's not permissible for you to have this friendship, or it's the exact same sentence. So you're going to put the vowels on it, you put the same vowels that are here. مَنْ هَادَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Hakka, the same exact sentence. وَلَوْ كَانَ أَقْرَبَ قَرِيب. Just telling you. Right? You're a muwahid. Right? You're not a mushrik. So be careful from befriending the mushrikeen. Right? Any questions?
Yeah.
طيب. اقرأ لنا يا عبد الله.
هذه المسألة في الولاء والبراء والولاء والبراء نابع من توحيد الألوهية والألوهية راجع للربوبية كأنه يقول لك شيخ أنت موحد وغير مشرك فاحذر أن I was going to ask you about that. Tuwaliya. Right? That's a Liya. Tuwaliya.
Tuwaliya, no.
Okay, Tuwaliya. I'm going to need to explain it in a minute. Al-Mushrikeen. لذلك قال أن من أطاع الرسول ووحد الله يخاطبك لا يجوز له موالة من هاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب ولا يجوز لك موالة من هاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب.
No. You need a tuwaliya.
Yeah,
That's what you need.
Yeah, because because I don't see the shadda. Yeah, I see the fatha, but I don't see the shadda. So
what shadda?
Li. Okay, where's Li? That's a ya. L. With the ya, that's Li. But why is
tuwaliya?
Tuwaliya. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the ya seems like it's a shadda.
No.
Liya.
Tuwaliya. No, tuwaliya.
Right.
How would you say it? How would you say it without the shadda?
Tuwaliya. That's what I look at.
Tuwaliya. Tuwaliya. Tuwaliya.
Okay, so they don't have a kesser there.
It's not. No, it's not. No, because the kesser's on the lamb.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see it up under there.
No, because we don't have vowels on our paper, brother.
But I'm saying I'm not seeing. I don't understand. It's not there physical. I'm just saying I don't see it. No waliya.
Yeah, this is the verb. It would be.
That's how it would be if you put the vowel on.
Yes, tuwaliyu before tuwaliyu before the N. Right?
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not used to seeing that, so that's the reason.
Yeah, because this is a new verb for you, basically. I mean, you haven't you've seen the word wali, you've seen al-wala, you've seen words like this, but you have muwala because we had this and we went over it before. But the tuwali you haven't had because you didn't really conjugate that verb before.
Tuwaliya, okay. I got tuwaliya al-mushrik.
No. If it had a shadda on the ya, then it'll be tuwaliya. Tuwaliya. It's not that. It's tuwaliya.
Okay.
All right. Yalla Abba Sumayya.
هذه المسألة في الولاء والبراء والولاء والبراء نابع من توحيد الألوهية والألوهية راجع للربوبية كأنه يقول لك شيخ أنت موحد وغير مشرك فاحذر أن تولي المشركين لذلك قال أن من أطاع الرسول ووحد الله يخاطبك لا يجوز له موالة من حاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب ولا يجوز لك موالة من حاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريبا
نعم.
ولو كان أقرب قريب.
نعم. So he says, here he says, يقول لك. Then he says, يخاطبك. He's talking to you. So when Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah, he said, لا يجوز له, meaning whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger. Remember, he's telling you, أنت يا Abdullah, أنت يا أبا سمية, أنت موحد, غير مشرك. فلا يجوز لك يا عبد الله يا أبا سمية يا أبا معاوية موالة من هاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب. So this is to anyone as a general rule, and the Sheikh said he's talking to you, so it's not permissible for you. Whereas this here, lahu, is a general statement. Here the Sheikh is talking to you, he says, so he tells you it's not permissible. And he says, what dalil?
Okay.
Fuck, go ahead.
Okay. On after that, to Walia. To Walia al Mushrikeen. What's gonna be on the end of that Mushrikeen?
Always a fatah. Always.
Okay.
Mushrikeen.
Kina.
Is always mushrikina.
Why? Because it's not
Okay.
a name.
No, it's a verb.
Yeah.
Okay, we have. Now we said, when we went over this before, we said there are rules. When we start talking about something being nominative or a genitive and accusative and all of this, jussive and subjunctive, and when we start talking about things being mansub and marfu and majroor and all that, there are rules. Just like when we learn in first grade, when we start doing addition and subtraction, we learn you can't take anything from zero. So you learn in first grade you can never have 0 minus 3, right? You learn that you can't do that. You can't take something from something you don't have. But then when you get to maybe 6th, 7th grade, whatever grade it is, you start having more difficult math and you've already built you some foundations. They start giving you principles like, no, there is a number line and we can take from 0. So there's a -4 and a -5 and a -6 and so on and so forth, right? So we learn certain rules only to establish foundations, and then later on we break them. But we need that foundation first so that we can grow. Then once we grow, we get strong enough, we can break that foundation and build again, right? So when something is marfu', when it's singular, it is with dhammas, we say, right? Mushrikun. When it's mansub, we say mushrikan. When it's majroor, we say what, Abdullah?
Mushrika.
When it's majroor.
Mushrik.
Mushrikin. Kasras. Mushrikin. Right? Now, when it becomes plural, in the plural, we say mushrikuna. This na here, that's not what exchanges this dhammas. What exchanges the dhammas is the wow. So our sign for being marfu' in this singular form is the dhamma, while our sign for being marfu' in this plural form is the wow. Not the noon aleph. The noon aleph is jama'. This is noon al-jama', meaning a group. This means the group. This is the noon with the fatha there, not noon and alif. Noon fatha is the noon. Fatha is for plural. While the wow is showing us the dhamma here. These two become mushrikina. Right? Mushrikina. Now, this noon fatha there, again, is still just showing us the jama'. It's still showing us a group. It's plural. While the ya is telling us it's either mansub or majroor. Depending on if it is, say, for instance, like we had here. If we just put anna in front of it, so I don't have to write out tawalliya, right? Anna, because it's a before noun. Anna mushrikina. But here, if we had min mushrikina, it's the same word. But this ya here is a sign of jar. It takes the place of the kasras. In this ya here, up after anna, takes the place of the fathas. Right?
So if you put min, that's still going to be mushrikina.
No. The na is not what we're changing. What we're changing with min is the wow to a ya.
Okay, because just like at the beginning, it's mushrik, but it's mushrikin.
In the beginning, it's mushrikun.
No. I'm talking about up on earlier in that paragraph.
Right.
It says Zayru mushrik.
Gayru mushrikin. Because of there makes it mudaf ilay, right? It basically makes it mudaf ilay, so it's majroor, right? So it's mushrikin in the upper in the paragraph, right?
Yeah. And that's still referring to a group.
No, mushrikin. Anta ghayru mushrikin. You are not a mushrik.
One.
Yeah, you're one. So when we have this here, the origin of all of our words. You take a word out of the dictionary. It doesn't have any context. It's going to be marfu. Any noun, it's going to be marfu. Meaning, for beginning purposes, we'll say a dhamma. So we say Muhammadun, Allahu, right? All of that. Then once we put something in front of it, it could be Muhammadan or Muhammadin. Well, when it's plural, its origin is mushrikun. This wow takes the place of the dhammas, while the noon and the fatha shows jama', shows pluralness.
Yeah.
So same thing in mushrikeen. The noon and the alif show pluralness. However, the ya is what's replacing the fathas or the kasras.
Yeah, got it.
You just have to learn that, inshallah. We'll keep going over it, and in Nahwali and different things, we'll have it, you know? Okay. He says, وَالدَّلِيلُ قَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى, and the proof or the evidence, and that's the mubtada, it's marfu', وَالدَّلِيلُ قَوْلُهُ is his statement, and the evidence is his statement. That's a complete sentence, right? قَوْلُهُ. So we have mubtada, marfu', khabar, marfu'. This who here is actually majroor to qawluhu, his statement, right? It's a possessive phrase. It's majroor, but because it's mebni, who doesn't change except for reading purposes, right? But grammatically it never changes. Ta'ala. And the proof is his statement, or the statement of Allah, or his statement, the Most High. La tajidu qawman yu'minuna billahi wal yawmil akhiri yuwadduna man hadallaha wa rasulahu. We'll stop there. Okay. La tajidu. You will not find. From wajada yajidu. Right? La tajidu. You will not find. Qawman. You will not find what? A people. Mansub. Mafulun bihi. You will not find a people. Yu'minuna. They believe in Allah. Yu'minuna. They believe. Billahi. In Allah. This is a harf jar. Lafdul jalala has a kasra. Right? Because of it. billahi wal yawmil akhiri. Yawmi is also majroor because of the bih, right? It goes back to believe in Allah and wabil yawmil akhir, and in the day of judgment, or the last day. Akhiri has a kasra on it because it is agreeing, it's an adjective agreeing with the noun. Al yawmil akhir, the last day. Last is the adjective, so therefore al-yawm is singular, akhir is singular. Al-yawm is definite, akhir is definite. It's majroor, it's majroor. It's masculine, it's masculine. As it agrees in all four things that a noun and an adjective has to agree with. وَبِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ يُوَادُّونَ. Okay. Go back. You will not find لَا تَجِدُوا قَوْمًا. You will not find a people يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, believing in Allah in the last day. يُوَادُّونَ. Yuwadduna comes from wad. Wow dal. Right? Wow dal. And it has to do with love. Right? Allah is al-wadud. He's the loving. Al-wadud. Right? So yuwadduna, this form here means to show love back and forth. Right? Yuwadduna. You will not find them loving man had Allah wa Rasulahu, whoever opposes Allah and His Messenger. So you're not going to find this. People who believe in Allah in the last day and then they love those who oppose Allah and His Messenger. Man had Allah wa Rasulahu is already up above. We went over that a number of times. Walau kanu. Up here we had walau kana because we're talking about one person, right? But here is walau kanu, and even if they were aba'ahum, if they were who? Their fathers. This is khabaru kana, mansub. Aba'ahum, the plural of ab is aba, right? O abna'ahum, again khabaru kana, mansub. Abna is the plural of ibn. Right? Their sons.
Okay.
أو إخوانهم. أو إخوانهم. خبر كان. Or even if they were their brothers. إخوان from أخ. Right? وعشيرتهم. أو عشيرتهم. Again, عشيرة. عشيرة here is mansub because it's خبر كان. And عشيرة means their friends. Ashira from Ain, Sheen, Ra. It has to do with their friends. Right? لا تجدوا قوما يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر يوادون من هاد الله ورسوله. You will not find a people who believe in Allah in the last day, loving those who oppose Allah and His Messenger. ولو كانوا آباءهم أو أبناءهم أو إخوانهم أو عشيرتهم. Even if they were their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their friends.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I'm going for Isha.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ulaika, those, ulaika, kataba fi qulubihimul imana. Ulaika, those, meaning those who love Allah and those who believe in Allah in the last day, and they do not befriend or love those who oppose Allah and His Messenger, even if they were their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their friends. Ulaika, those kataba fi qulubihim al-iman. Those He wrote. Kataba, He wrote. Fi qulubihim, in their hearts. Qulub, the plural of qalb. Right? Qulubi after fi. He wrote in their hearts iman. What did He write? He wrote iman, mansub, maf'ulun bihi. He wrote iman in their hearts. Wa ayyadahum. Ayyada comes from alif ya dal. Ayyada means to help and to support. right? وَأَيَّدَهُمْ, and he helped them. It's a verb. وَأَيَّدَهُمْ بِرُوحٍ مِّنْهُ, be with ruh, a spirit or a soul, a spirit, and it's majroor after bih, minhu. Ulaika, those, and we are explaining who those are. They believe in Allah on the last day. They don't love the kuffar, those who oppose Allah's messenger, even if they're their relatives and friends, right? The ulaika, those, kataba fi qulubihimul iman. This dhamma here is for reading purposes, because qulubihim is second, right? And iman, Islam is second. We can't have two sukuns next to each other, so they put the dhamma there for reading purposes, for joining purposes, right? He wrote in their hearts iman. وَأَيَّدَهُمْ بِرُوحٍ مِّنْهُ, and he supported them with a spirit from him, right? وَيُدْخِلْهُمْ وَيُدْخِلُهُمْ, and he will enter them. Yudkhilu, right? Yadkhulu is he enters. Yadkhulu, if I put yadkhulu, it would be and he enters, right? But yet yudkhilu is passive, meaning he will enter them. Enter them what? Jannatin. Jannat. He will enter them into gardens. This is mansub, but this goes back to you needing to learn, because mushrik was a masculine word. This goes back to needing to learn the feminine way now. So if we say jannatun, right, that's marfu', nothing in front of it or anything. Jannatan, right? That's with something that makes it mansub in front of it, like anna or something, right? Jannatin. Right? Jannatin. That's singular. Now when you get to plural, you say jannatun. Right? But when you get to accusative and genitive, or mansub and majroor, is jannatin.
Both of them.
Both of them. They look alike. It's easy to memorize, maybe harder to know the difference why when you see it, but easier to memorize. That's how they become mansub, right? Now here, our aleph that I wrote over here is a real aleph, was written as a little dagger aleph, right?
Yeah, I see that.
But it's still there. So it's mansub because he's entering them into gardens. It's mansub, the object of the entering. Tajri, from jara, yajri, but because this jannat is feminine, then the tajri is feminine. Jara, yajri, tajri for feminine. They run. Jara, yajri, tajri means to run, to flow. And it also means to run. So you could tell your son, la tajri, don't run, right? Don't run. Like in the masjid or in the house or something, right? But it also means to run and to flow. So they use the word just like English, like the river runs down, right? And you say the boy runs down the hill. The river runs downhill. They're two different runnings, but we use it like that in English. It's the same in Arabic. Alhamdulillah. Tajri min tahtiha. Tahti is a dharf. A dharf is like a harf jar. It's like a preposition, but it's an adverb basically, and it shows place or time, and it's a noun. Unlike min never changes, bi never changes, fi never changes, ila never changes, right? But tahta can become tahti after the harf jar. So min tahtiha, ha referring to the jannat. From tajri min tahtiha, right? Al-anhar. Anhar is the plural of nahar, which is river. Right? And this ta, when I say refers to jannat, it actually refers to anhar. Right? Rivers, anhar, rivers flowing beneath them, meaning beneath the gardens. Right? Khalidina fiha. Khalid, as we said, this kha, lam, dal has to do with eternally. Right? Khalid, meaning to be forever. Khalidina, they will dwell in there forever. Fiha, in them. In those gardens. Ha, referring back to the gardens. Radiyallahu anhum. Allah is pleased with. Allah, lafzul jalala, is the fa'il here. He's the one doing the being pleased. He's the one doing the, however you want to say that, right? He's the one pleased. Radiyallahu anhum. He's the one having pleasure anhum, on them. Wa radu, and they are pleased anhu, with him, meaning with Allah. Ulaika, those, Hizbullahi. Ulaika is the mubtada, marfu', even though it doesn't have a dhamma, it's mabni, it never changes. Ulaika Hizbullahi, they are the Hizbullah. Khabar, this is khabar. Hizbu, the party, the group, the party, the group, the sect. Hizbullahi, the group of Allah, the party of Allah, the sect of Allah, however you want to translate it, right? Hizbullahi, mudaf mudaf ilayh. Those are the party of Allah. Allah. Allah here is kind of like a word of amazement. A is a question. La is like no. So is it not inna hizballahi humul muflihun? So is it not that the hizb of Allah are the successful people? Right? Allah inna hizballah. Hizba is mansoob after inna. Hizballahi mudaf mudaf ilayh. Humul muflihun. This dhamma here is for reading purposes because of the 2 seconds or sukoons. Al muflihun, they are the successful. And we see that this is marfu' because of the wow. It doesn't say muflihin, it says muflihun. This noon aleph is showing the plurality. Any questions?
The translation.
Of all of it?
Is it not? No. Is it not that Hizbullahi, whom those
They are.
You know, that group of people.
Humul muflihun, they are the successful. From falah, from fa, lam, ha, to be successful. Allah inna hizballahi, is it not that verily the party of Allah, humul muflihun, they are the successful.
Okay. No.
طيب.
No.
إذن اقرأ الآية يا عبد الله.
والدليل قوله
والدليل
لا. Huh?
والدليل
Yeah. والدليل
No.
والدليل قوله تعالى لا تجد قوما يؤمنون
Not yuk. Take that k out. Just yu'minuna.
يؤمنون.
Yeah, like say like you're gonna say you, and then just cut it.
يؤمنون.
Yeah.
يؤمنون.
Like somebody hit you in your throat. You want me to come hit you in your throat and help you out?
يؤمنون. Yeah, you do that. يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر. Okay, يوادون من هاد الله ورسوله ولو كانوا آباءهم أو أبناءهم أو إخوانهم.
Idge?
أو إخوانهم brother.
إخوانهم. نعم.
إخوانهم أو عشيرتهم أولئك كتب في قلوبهم قلوبهم
نعم.
الإيمان وأيدهم بروح منه ويدخلهم جنة تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه أولئك حزب الله ألا إن حزب الله هم المفلحون.
هم المفلحون. نعم. جيد. They say عندنا ولا. عندنا with us. عند is with, or we have, or عندنا we have, or with us. Right? With us is a gas can. We have a gas can. Same thing, right? And then, except we would say we have is a little, probably sounds better to us, right? Unless you're from Memphis, maybe with us. I don't know. Indana wala'un. We have wala, this association. Wa indana bara'un. And we have this association. Alladhina يطلقونه الناس يقولون ها الذي يطلقونه يطلق طلق. Here it means to throw. But يطلق means to like throw something or to cast something out. But here it's basically talking about they're saying it, right? They go around saying it, right? يطلقونه الناس. Nasu, right? The file. They're the ones who are throwing it around. Yaqulun, saying it. They're the ones who are saying it, right? يطلقونه الناس الذي يطلقونه الناس, which the people are going around saying. Al-wala wal-bara lil-mushrikeen. They say the association and disassociation for the mushrikeen. Lakin al-asl. Huh?
Lil-mushrikeen.
Lil.
Okay.
Mushrikeen. Right? Lakin al-asl al-bara. Here you got to remember, he's just talking. He said, but the origin is al-bara, meaning for the mushrikeen. Al-wala lil-muslimin. The association, al-wala'u lil-muslimin. The association is for the Muslims. Tuwalli al-muslimin. They befriend, they take on companionship with the Muslims. وَتَتَبَرَّأُ and this is from the barra'a, right? وَتَتَبَرَّأُ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And they avoid and disassociate from the mushrikeen. Now, what he's saying here, so it could become clearer maybe, is that the people go around and say, yeah, we have al-wala and bara for the mushrikeen. But this statement is technically incorrect, right? No, we have al-wala for the muslimin, we have al-bara for the mushrikeen. But people just say, they shorten it, and by doing so, they technically make a mistake. Now, their aqidah and stuff, they might be right in it, but the wording of the statement is a mistake. Al-wala wal-bara lil-mushrikeen. Now, we have association, disassociation with the kuffar. No, we have al-wala for the Muslims and bara for the mushrikeen. So, عندنا ولاء وعندنا براء. الذي يطلقونه الناس يقولون الولاء والبراء للمشركين لكن الأصل البراء والولاء للمسلمين تولي المسلمين وتتبرأ من المشركين. Clear?
نعم.
تفضل.
عندنا ولاء وعندنا براء التي يتلكونه يتلكونه الناس يقولون الولاء والبراء للمشركين لكن أصل البراء والولاء والولاء للمشركين توالي
للمشركين
مسلمين.
نعم. It should be tuwaliyu here. There is no N in front of it. Tuwaliyul Muslimin.
Okay, tuwaliyul Muslimin.
نعم. وتبرأوا. نعم.
وتبرأوا من, did I put that castle there for pronunciation? من المشركين.
نعم, exactly. Put the fat on, exactly like that. من المشركين.
Okay.
Yeah.
من المشركين.
Yep.
وتبرأوا.
طيب, we have a few minutes left. Let's try. We got, because this will end this, but we're not gonna finish it today. I'm sure we can finish it when we come back, but we'll read some of it. وتبرأوا من المشركين يتضمنوا.
وتبرأ.
Huh?
وتبرأ.
تبرأوا.
Is that the same word?
No. This is a noun here. Before, up above, it was a verb. تتبرأ.
Okay.
Here, this is a noun.
Okay.
This is the noun of that. But tabarra'u, meaning, and it's like the same word as al-bara, right? And this association, min al-mushrikeen, min al-mushrikina, yatadammanu shay'ain. Yatadamman from da, mim, noon, meaning to include or consist of. Yatadamman shay'ain. Right? Shay. يتضمن. Meaning?
يتضمن.
نعم, يتضمن. It's a verb.
Okay.
يتضمن شيئين. Originally it was شيئان. Right? شيئان. Two things. But because it's mansub, it consists of what? Consists of two. It became شيئين. It consists of two things. Right? This البراء من المشركين التبرؤ من المشركين يتضمن شيئين. It consists of two things. الشيء الأول, the first thing. الشيء الأول بغضهم. بغضهم. بغض, we had this word many times. Anger or hatred or dislike, however you want to translate it. في القلب or في القلب. بغضهم في القلب. Hatred for them, dislike for them in the heart. في القلب. في القلب after في. وعدم القرب. عدم القرب. And the absence of closeness. Qurb, like qarib, aqraba, qarib, right? Al-qurb. Wa adam al-qurb. And the absence of closeness minhum, from them, بالجسد بالجسد بالجسد, in the body. And this is why they talk about, and this is not the discussion here, but I'm just trying to make it show you what he's saying there. It's not permissible to live in the non-Muslim lands and so on and so forth, right? Or, the kafir should not be able to see the fire of the Muslim, and the Muslim should not be able to see the fire of the kafir when they're cooking at night or keeping warm. That's how far they should be. If they're in the desert, the kafir should not see the fire of the Muslim, and the Muslim should not see the fire of the kafir. And how far away would that be? Because in the desert, you know what I mean? You can see pretty clear and pretty far, So if there's a fire at night, you're going to see it from a long distance. You should be farther away for them to be able to see it. Should be on over a hill or something, dividing you from them. بغضهم في القلب وعدم القرب منهم بالجسد. You have anger or hatred or dislike in the heart, and the absence of closeness to them in the body. And we'll stop there. We only got like a minute and a half left, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll just continue and read the rest of it Friday night, inshallah ta'ala. Tomorrow we'll do Nahu Wadi. Tayyib.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan ya Abdullah.
Right, yeah.
Inshallah, I'll see you tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.